Hi Pep. Yaya Toure has told us he wants to stay. He loves the football club. So does that change your thinking in some respects, as opposed to leaving it until the end of the season? Will he be offered a new contract before then? What are your plans for him long term?
Good morning. I knew that. He expressed in the media what I knew that for a months ago. So, but in all these issues we're going to talk about at the end of the season.
With that in mind then, what do you make of the speculation surrounding the squad? It seems that the speculation is that the squad requires a major overhaul. What's your view as regards that? And does Vincent Kompany still fit into your long-term plans, for instance?
I'm so happy with the squad, I said many times. So speculation that is normal when you're out in a competition in this point of the period. It happened everywhere, not just in the Premier League in England. So, but I said many times, I'm so happy working with these guys and how they try to do and how good performance they made. And we are going to improve a lot with a lot of these guys. Next season, a lot of these guys will be here.
So how important do you feel this one game is in terms of securing Champions League qualification for next season, and what reaction do you expect from your players after midweek?
For the qualification for the Champions League will be tough until the last game of the Premier League. So except, of course, the Chelsea. The other contenders will be there until the end of the season. And of course, it's a good bit to see how everybody react, me, myself, and everybody, the players, after to be out of the Champions League. Of course, this important game before the national team break. So, and of course, against one of the best teams in the Premier League.
Pep, the Champions League has obviously been such an important part of your career. Have you had a chance to reflect on this week and maybe what went wrong and what lessons can be learned for future years?
A lot of lessons can be learned. That's pretty sure. Of course, I had a good success about in that competition, but the exceptional issue is not to be out in the Champions League and 80 finals. We have to think everybody to be humble to accept that. So how difficult is that competition? The people create a lot of expectations. We know that all teams around the world in that competition is so demanding. I think the England has to be awareness about that. But a lot of players, the first time they play in that competition, and they will learn, we will learn about, for the next season we'll be stronger, I think, in that terms. We were close to be qualified, so at the end we scored 6 goals. Of course we conceded 6 goals, and when that's happening, it's so complicated. Most of the goals, it was our mistakes, that it happened many times in that season. And I think that is going to happen less in the next season. Hopefully we will learn. But I don't have too many regrets about how we compete, except the first half there. The people can believe we were there defending a result. It's the only thing I could not, I didn't want it, but that's happened because the opening was good. And of course, we started the first 6-7 minutes, we were really well. And after the goal we concede, sometimes it's not difficult. The Champions League control the emotion. In the second half, we show what we wanted from the beginning, but it's always impossible to dominate 90 minutes in a game like away. In the second round, the Champions League, you cannot do the same we did in the second half, but we have to avoid to be 42 minutes or 40 minutes playing like we play in the first half. That's why we are out. But in terms how they react and play, they compete 2 games. I am so glad. So we react, or you overcame in a difficult situation in at home when with one we have a most incredible penalty I ever seen with Sergio Aguero. Didn't concede, and after we moved immediately 1-2, was one penalty against with the save. How we react in that situation, that is many things we can learn in the future. But of course we are out, and when you are out, we have to accept absolutely everything the people say.
Yaya Toure told us at the start of the week that he doesn't like playing against Liverpool because of the way they counter-press, because of the style that they have. What is it about facing a Jurgen Klopp team, whether it be Liverpool or Dortmund, that you've had experience in the past? What is it like playing against a Jurgen Klopp?
No, it's a top coach. It's a spot little process. Is attack inside. Is win the ball, regain the ball and attack, and when you lose the ball, immediately transition offensive, defensive, and win the ball and attack. He likes to attack in 4, 5, 6 seconds all the time. And the teams, when you want to attack, they feel comfortable. When the teams where they defend a lot of deep, sometimes they have more problems. But there's a top team, a top trainer, respect a lot. Huge talent players, English players and foreign players there. So I think it's a real good team. Good test because, against, I think, the best teams in the Premier League in terms of the clubs. They are now on top in the league. They make a good results. So, tough game.
Yeah, you talked about the record there against top six sides. Does that almost make them the most dangerous opponents in the league, Liverpool?
But if you see in terms of the results until now, yes. But it's a one new game and everything can happen.
Pep, sorry, because you mentioned conceding 6 goals against Monaco, and you talked about how dangerous they are, Liverpool, in attack. So will you have any plans to change in defense, or maybe be more defensive against them?
No. Again, we have to try. Of course, we have to defend better, but I think in the 10 minutes and 12, 15 minutes, the second half in our game in Monaco, we create 5 chances. And a few teams can do that in Europe. And chances arrive in the byline, it's just one pass, you score a goal. And we miss those chances. And that's happened a lot of times. And when I say when we miss these kind of chances, that create the problems after in back. And when you are safe back, you're more safer in the chances. But maybe, for example, in the second half in Monaco, how many chances Monaco they create? 0. The goal. Okay, set pieces, the goal. No else. So in the first half, the 3 times they score a goal, they score a goal. So the problem was in Monaco, in the first half we didn't create. That is what I am most worried the most, not because of the chances. We told the season was like this. So they create chances, not too much, they score goals. But in the last games in the Premier League, we concede few. So Middlesbrough was 1 set pieces again, 1 corner in the first half, 1-0, no more. Against Stoke City, no chance, no chance. So 0. So we were so stable. But in Europe, against the best team in the world, and scoring goals in that season like Monaco, because it's not against us, it's all the team around the world, we knew that they were going to create the chances. When surprised the second half, they didn't create it. I knew that it would happen. That's why I tried to put in my mind, in the heart of my players, we have to attack. And in the first half, didn't happen. That's why the gap between the first and the second half was so big. That's why we were out. Because in that competition, you can be 10 and 15 and 20 minutes, a little bit, suffer. It's impossible. It doesn't matter the teams. You put the teams in 80 finals now, and I cannot imagine to playing against them, you don't suffer 50, 20 minutes. But it was quite long. It was 40 minutes. In the terms we didn't create. Is one point I don't like this situation. The game was like this. So in the first 45 minutes, we didn't create the chance. When that happened, it's impossible to go through.
Hi, Pep. Hello. Just going back to Vincent Kompany, I believe you took him to Middlesbrough and to Monaco. He wasn't involved, he wasn't on the bench. May I ask you why that was? Because he's obviously a central defender, senior player. Maybe he could have helped you. Why leave him out?
No, the reason why it was is because they didn't play games because he was injured, and put it in the field in maybe 20 minutes or 15 minutes, because I know after 2-1 I thought about that. Maybe we need the last minutes against tall players like Monaco, put it on the field to defend this kind of situation, but it was long time injured, and always sometimes arrive as injured again. He take that risk. I would have been more safer, more sure. Now maybe it's going to go to the national team and he can play minutes. I wanted to be sure he can compete from the beginning. Don't waste one game, one change, because he cannot play 90 minutes, or when he play the last 50, 20 minutes, or maybe he's injured again, and that's why I would like a little more time to be sure. But of course, we're so happy he's fit, and of course, at the end of the season, when I concerned, because this is the case, so Nico played amazing against Middlesbrough, and all the games he played, he didn't play the last game. So in that terms, all 3, the rotation, and we're happy that Bini is again there.
Hi, Pep. Just on that,
I don't see you.
I'm here, right.
Sorry.
Just on that, is there a chance of Vincent coming back into the team and to become a regular member of the team once again?
Yeah, it was our desire from the beginning of the season, but it happened the same for the last season. He was not fit. And of course, there are a lot of process, a lot of works, and a lot of was not involved. And sometimes you need to see he understands that, to do that, and to be involved. But the first step, I said many times, is to be fit to make a training sessions. In the last 2 weeks, he's there.
Pep, you said a few weeks ago that there was no way you could make the number of changes that perhaps you needed to last summer because you can't do that all in one summer. Does that not still apply this summer? I mean,
Yeah,
for instance,
the people make a report about the people, all the people say about our performance, about performance in Monaco, and the people said we're going to change 12 or 13 players. I'm going to assure you, it's impossible today to do that. So you have to be a little bit more responsible. You have to imagine a club, 13 players, like you, they have a contract and maybe have to pay that distance. Go there to pay their salaries and spend 40, 50 millions every player. So we're going to spend 500 or 600 million pounds. It's impossible.
for instance,
We're going to buy, we're going to try to improve the team, but improve what we can, it's possible in the market in the way you can do so. And because most of the players, the basis is perfect, it's done. So John Stones next season will be better player. The next month or month and a half, John make a step forward, a huge step forward. It's the best John Stones I've ever seen, but the next season will be better because he's so young. It's the first year go to Europe to play in no camp in these kind of stages. And the people believe, come here, you put it in the field in one team competing, now he's going to play well. Need the process and need time to build and to be settled. But I am delighted his performance and how good will be for your national team in the future. I am pretty sure of that, how important will be. And of course, but make a mistake, but part is the process. I didn't see never a central defender with 10 to 21 years go in 80 finals or quarterfinals or semifinals or play in the biggest stages and don't make mistakes. It's impossible. We have to create a good environment to him to get him better, to help him. I'm talking about John Stones and all the other examples. Sorry.
I take your point on John Stones, but you've got, for instance, 3 fullbacks who are out of contract. You've got Vincent Kompany, a centre-back who for 3 years now hasn't been able to play. That could mean 3 changes to your back 4. It's incredibly rare that a manager would ever do that in one summer and it to actually work. Yeah. That's a major challenge facing you.
Yeah, that's true. But that's why we're here, we're going to try. But that doesn't mean that all the fullbacks in the contract, they're going, all of them leave. Some of them maybe is going to stay. So we're going to do what you can do, but knowing that a lot of players, when talking, I don't know the average, but a lot of players are going to stay next season here to help us, but we believe in them. But they did really well. So I remember performance against Barcelona, against Monaco here, the second half in Monaco. And we are not a team like we show all the season, but that is not Monaco game. All the season we are not a team to stay 90 minutes a stable team. We are not, but we are new in many, many things, in the way we want to play. And a lot of players, they are new in the playing Champions League. Sterling is the second year, but the last year played few in the Champions League, a few minutes. So it's the first year, almost the first year. Sané is the first time playing the bigger stages. And the people believe we arrive here, we are going to. We were there, so close to qualify, because maybe we score a goal, Leroy, with 2-1s, but that should be the 2-2, because we create 4 chances before to make 1 goal. So, but that is a process that I understand that people cannot understand, because in the big clubs, when Chelsea is going to play the next season the Champions League, or Tottenham is going to play, or we, or United, the teams, they are going to demanding to be there, and to win the Champions League. But that competition showing the last 50, 20 years, especially for the English teams, especially for not except Barcelona, Madrid, and the other one, so it's so difficult to win that competition. But of course, we have to improve. We have to try for the next season to be better in that competition, to be more stable. The chances we create, score more goals, and we create the few chances we concede, try to defend better. And of course, our boxes, it's our big gap to improve for the next season.
What's the chairman's reaction been to Wednesday's exit? And do you get
Chairman?
Yeah.
I received a text message the day after.
And what was the reaction from him?
What do you believe?
Well, obviously disappointed.
He preferred to be in the Champions League, was not there, but he always had close. I never, few times in my careers, I felt with Joan Laporta, my old president. So always I feel always he's there, so close to the team, so close to me. But he knows, I know better than him how it works, that wall. So when that happened, result that happened, so always we're going to take decisions. But always I feel, even in that season, in the good moments, the bad moments, especially in the bad moments, I realize his reaction. I'm really impressed. That's why I appreciate it a lot.
I was going to say, do you think this setback makes him and the rest of the sort of hierarchy at the club realise that there's a need to strengthen this squad?
No.
Had you gone through that, it may have masked that situation, but going out, it kind of brings it to the fore, doesn't it? That you need to strengthen this squad considerably. In the
Yeah,
summer.
but except one team who maybe wins, the other team they're going to lose. And all the managers and directors sportive and the managers, they want to improve and strength and getting better. So maybe the team is going to win the triple or win the league and the Champions League. They're going to think, or maybe, oh, it's quite enough, we are made the changes. But even the team is going to play the final of the Champions League, and they are not going to win, because it's just can win once. That team are going to think about they have to improve that team. So I knew that. I met the big boss, Sheikh Mansour in Abu Dhabi in Athens, and I heard the plan. So it's a team who created 7 years ago a next step. They took in charge that club, and they are thinking to getting better. And that is the reason why. Which players, which manager will be, of course, it depends on the results. That is going to happen. But I wanted to be involved in that as much as possible to help that team to make a next step. And I have more power than ever in my life like a manager. So it's a big deal for me. It's a big challenge, and I want to deal with that. I want to see myself as if I am able to do that. That is my impression right now.
Hola, Pep, ha dit Klopp fa una estona que per ells el City...
Jurgen Klopp has said Manchester City is the most difficult team to play against. How do you see the match on Sunday?
Com veus el de diumenge?
Puc dir quasi el mateix.
Well, I could say almost the same for Liverpool. It's one of the most tough opponents in the Premier League. The unique force I have is to play the way I want. Trophies are not going to change that way. I want to play the way I am. And it's the same for Jurgen. He plays the way he is. That's why I admire him so much.
Dijo cuando llegó que venía a
First
aprender.
question, how decisive has been Pedro Rodriguez in Chelsea's success this season? And the second one, when you arrived, you said you came here to learn. What have you learned so far?
Gracias.
Pedro, té molta.
Well, he made a lot of impact. He became decisive again near the boss. His feeling with goal is amazing, and I'm really happy for his performance this season.
Decisiu, encara...
I've learned a lot from my players. I have new players, and I'm still learning from them, and I learn a lot from them.